Hi you guys, thank you so much for staying tuned in. This is Aria with Aria Budgets, and I just want to take a quick second to say thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed. I cannot believe I have 700 subscribers, you guys. This is insane. I've been on YouTube for about 2 months now, and I cannot believe it. I am very grateful. Thank you. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I am sharing here my journey as to how I learned how to manage money and things like that, because I don't know what I'm doing with my life, because I don't know where my money's going. So I am trying to share with the world to hold myself accountable. So if that's something you would like, please stay tuned in and consider subscribing. Let's get started. Bye. Here is the second part of my Q&A. After that, I decided no more roommates. I was just going to do it on my own, and even though it wasn't as easy, it was fine. I did not want to put my girls through that anymore, or myself in a position like that. And as I lived there, I was able to save up since my income is increased and with time, and so I started saving up. I used to go out a lot more with the girls though. We had family vacations. We went to Disney World. We went to Miami a couple of times. We went to the Nickelodeon resort. We also went to my motherland and things like that. So we used to have a lot of fun because I was able to save up a little bit more money. But also, I used to use my credit cards back then. I used to use my credit cards and go on vacation, then pay it off, and then use them, and so on. So my credit score was pretty good. I started then saving up to buy a house because that's something that I always wanted to do. It was like my dream when I came to the US. Then the pandemic came. I started to pile up all of the cash I could. I saved up as much as I could, and because I was afraid a lot of people were losing their jobs and so on. So I started using my credit cards. That's when my debt kind of took off, or started, I want to say. It's not that I went all out and crazy, but my utilities, I paid them off with my credit cards. I didn't really use any gas because I was not driving. We were at home the whole time. Thankfully, I was able to work from home, so I didn't have to go out. I now save in childcare. I didn't have to pay for that anymore because the girls were taking classes inside of the house. So I saved in a lot of ways. I did all my grocery shopping from my credit card, and like I said, I saved up as much as I could because I was afraid that maybe if something did happen and I lost my job, even though I was going to be able to collect some money for unemployment, I didn't want to rely on that only. There was so much uncertainty that I just didn't want to risk it, and I just continued to pay off my minimum payment on all my cards and using them as much as I could so that I could save up on cash. The cash that I used to use was only to pay my rent, and I want to say that's probably it, the only thing I use my cash for. When things started opening up slowly, it wasn't as hard, but I remember it was September 2020. I hear from the property manager that the landlord, the owner of the unit, wanted to sell, and I had 3 months to either buy the place or move out. They gave me 3 months rent-free so that I could find a place, and I started doing just that. I started looking for places now for a 2-bedroom, even for one bedroom apartment. It was very expensive, and people started, when I went to apply, because even though it was a lot more than what I was paying in that place, I was looking for something a little bit better, in a better location, closer, that was still keeping the girls in the same school and near the daycare, because I wanted to be close to family also and all of that. And when I noticed that I was going to be paying $2,000, $1,900 for a unit for somebody else, I thought, why can I not buy something for myself? And I decided to do all of my due diligence. I didn't think I had enough money saved up for a down payment, but I partnered up with a realtor. I called because I said, if I am going to be paying this much money to pay someone else's mortgage, why can I try and find something for myself with the same amount of money? And so that's what I did. I contacted a realtor and we did all of the process. Then what's it called, I don't remember, but the person that is in charge of the loan, and they ran my credit and they did all of that, and then they pre-approved me for a certain amount of money with a 3%. It was a 3% down payment with an FHA loan. And it was tough because during that market, everyone was bidding way above. So it was hard, really hard for me to find anything that I could afford inside of my range. Because remember, I do live close to New York City. I live in Jersey, but I like, you could literally see the cars in the streets of New York from our backyard. But back then, not backyard, but patios, park near the area where I used to live at before. It was really close to New York City, and so the rent anywhere, even 20-30 minutes away from the city, is expensive because you have such a proximity. We were literally a bus 5 minutes, 15 minutes, because there was a lot of traffic, 30 if the traffic was bad, minutes away from New York. But not because it was far, but because of the traffic, like I said. And I wasn't really looking there. I was looking a little further because I couldn't afford anything near my area. So everything was so expensive and it was so aggressive that my time to move out was up, and now I needed to decide what I was going to do. And what I did was I put on pause my search and spoke to my mom and moved back in with her for a few months. She allowed me to just add a little bit of the money for the rent to give her some money for rent to cover like the light and the water. So that's what I did, and I was able to save up a lot of money. We continued our search. I applied and was approved for a different type of loan. Now I only had, I think, one credit card, and it was like $3,000. That's all I owed. 3,000? No, it was 3 and 4. Yeah, it was less than $10,000 that I owed, and that was the only expense. I didn't have a car because the car payment, because the car I had was paid in cash. I had already paid for it, but it broke down during the pandemic. I went to turn it on once, it just died. I was driving and it just boom, 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 turned off, and it didn't want to start. Luckily, I was able to start it in praying that I will make it back home, which I did, and parked the car and immediately had to kind of junk it out. I don't know if that's a word, but I had to call the junkyard and they picked it up. They gave me $90 for the car because what they wanted was the catalytic, I guess, and I had already, my car didn't have the original part. I don't know, it was a whole thing there. So all I got was $90, and so I saved up enough money to now be qualified for a conventional loan with a 5% down, and that's what I did. And we were able to find a property that honestly wasn't as expensive as everything else. It's not like a wow property. It wasn't my dream home, but it was what I needed. It's great for me. It is in a really good location. I have 2 very nice sized bedrooms. I have a laundry room inside, which before I never did. I never owned a laundry washer or dryer machine inside of any apartment that I lived here while I came here since I moved to the US ever. My mom never had one, and I never did, neither before the girls or after the girls. I never had a washer inside. Also a designated parking. Maybe in you guys' area it's nothing to really worry about, but when you live so close to the city, is a parking spot is a luxury, and that is also included in my condo unit. So my monthly housing expense is for a condo that I own. So the $2,000 does include property taxes, property management, and the sewage, trash, snow removal, things like that. Did I say water? Yeah, the water and things like that I don't have to worry about. So yeah, that is why I pay so much in my housing expense. It's something that it's for me in the future, whether I want to sell it or I want to refinance. And because I only put down a 5%, I also have a mortgage insurance payment, so that it's also included in the monthly bill for housing. Once I pay enough that could cover the 20% down, then that'll be gone, which will take some time, but for right now it's okay. I'll just pay little by little. I understand what the concern that people have been showing, but I want you to know that I wasn't always so irresponsible with my income. I wasn't always in this much debt. This is the very first time, and everything happened within the span of 2 years that we've been living here now. It will be 2 years in May of 2023. So after that, then I had to get a car because I now have to drive a little further to drop off the girls, to anything like that. I need a car. A car right now is not a luxury. It's not that I have it because I want it. No, I need to have a car. I'm not going to get into details, but I did have to hire a lawyer for certain things, and that is very expensive. It is very, very expensive. So I didn't let all of the problems that I was having stop me from going out and eating and spending money on shopping and this and that. Instead, I feel like I used that as an escape. I wanted to escape from anything that was happening, and I just wanted to block it. I didn't want to think about the hard time that I was going through. And even though I felt so blessed, and I still do feel so blessed, to me my home is a blessing. I pay that amount of money with a smile on my face, because I could have been paying that for someone else. Now I am paying it for myself. That is the reason why I pay that much money, I guess, for my housing. I am thankful and grateful that I no longer have to drive or look for parking for an hour. When I came home from working very, very late, I have to go and pick up my kids, my children, at a babysitter at 10 o'clock at night, sometime 11 at midnight. Pick them up while they were sleeping and get them in my car. I understand what people are saying, but I also wish that they could see past only an amount, because they don't understand the process that one has to go. And that is why I decided to share this, because I am also a human. I am a human, and no one knows my story. No one knows my struggles, or why is this person in this mess? What happened? And so, yeah, there has been a lot of great comments with great feedback and amazing suggestions and comments, and encouraging words and sympathy, and I appreciate that very, very much from the bottom of my heart. We'll talk about my credit cards next. Credit card, even though I kind of already said a few things, but credit cards. Some people have asked me if I have already chopped off my credit cards and all of that, and the answer is no, I have not. And I don't think I will, at least not for now. As of right now, it's not at all. In the future, I don't know. I do think it's important to have a credit score. I understand that, and since I started listening to Dave Ramsey, that he doesn't believe in credit score, that one should have it, save up money and buy everything with cash. But as of right now, I I'm focusing in learning to use my money. I need to be an adult and be responsible, even though I have this thing, because I don't drink alcohol. And the fact that there's alcohol next to me or someone is drinking, that doesn't mean that, oh, I need to do it. I know I am an adult and I need to learn to control my impulses. If I don't want to buy it, then I shouldn't. I don't have to lock myself and put shackles and cut them, because trust me, I did that once. But it was so easy to call them, hey, I need another card. It was so easy to just log in and see what was my my numbers. And just nowadays, we don't need a physical card. So I think what I need to do is cut my own feelings attached to it and go deep into my thoughts. Why am I doing this? Do I really need this? So what I need right now is to reset my mind and learn how to adjust my own habits. Why do I do this? Is it necessary? And learn to use money responsibly and wisely, because I used to do it before. Why can I do it now? I can't, and I will. I don't want to close my mind and thinking, I have it all figured out, because I don't. I'll be learning as I go. I am sure of that. But for right now, my focus is to pay them off. I don't not cut them, not close the accounts or anything like that. I've been home. I haven't bought anything outside the entire month, which is great. No eating out. I haven't spent anything outside of my budget so far. Knock on wood. Nothing happens. But it's been great. And I feel accomplished, because my goal was to make the make the amount that I was short, which I am very close to doing, and not spend any extra, not go over my budget. And I think we're doing that. I think I am doing that, so I deserve a pat in the back for now. I need to celebrate my small wins. Another thing that I want to answer the questions is I've seen about child support. It isn't always the same amount. Majority of time I get around $300. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. It doesn't depend on me. I don't pay for it. It's someone else that pays for it. So whatever, even though there's an amount that it's said, whatever that person adds, it's what I can use. I have no control over that. My child support, I don't count on it as income. Now, I do use it to cover anything that I do with the girls. Right now, I use that for paying the music school that they go to, which they recently joined. Also, someone asked if I qualify for reduced lunch. I do not. I don't qualify. I don't make a bunch of money, but they do have a very low limit, and I make more than what the limit is. So I don't qualify for that. The girls do bring lunch to school. I prepare lunch for them and little sandwiches and things like that. They are good kids, so that I allow them to go ahead and grab them. I have explained to them the situation. This is how much we have. This is how much you have. You cannot go over this much every month, or this is how much you could spend this week, or I didn't use any last week. Okay, so you could now add that to this week, and so on. So in that aspect, we are okay. I also use that for any co-pays that I have to pay for medical expenses. So if I need to buy medicine and things like that, I don't count it as income. I do take some of it for groceries. Oh, someone also mentioned about groceries. Oh, I didn't even write here. Child support. And also groceries. I want to write food for groceries. Someone did ask or commented that I should make it realistic. I do. I don't spend a lot of money when I go grocery shopping, because I buy from BJ's. I do not have a BJ's card. My aunt has, and then my cousins too. So I borrow the cards, and I go and buy every so often. Not as often, maybe once every 4 months or once every 6 months or so on. And I buy in bulk. So then every month I only need to, I spend less, 100 or less than 100 buying, just stacking up basically cereal or waffles and eggs, things like that, sandwiches, bread, no sandwiches, ham, cheese, bread, mayo, things like that I just kind of need to stock up. And I do shop in Aldi, which is a lot cheaper, so I buy pasta from there and my beans from there and all of these things. So I do end up saving up a lot. I don't have to budget for more, so basically $80 or so on a month, it's okay for me. I will be now though creating a sinking fund. I wish that, or that is one of my goals, to create a sinking fund for food. So the day that I go buy my meats in bulk, my rice in bulk, I also buy like hot chocolate and things like that in bulk, I don't have to cut other things that month because I know I need to buy this much thing. So in the works is a sinking fund for my large grocery shopping list. Okay, another thing is my car wash. I don't know why I found this very funny. I like to keep my car clean, and I don't think $40 it's a lot for my car wash. They just go in, they wash it in, and they clean it. They wash the outside and they clean the inside. I am okay with that. It is the one thing I have for myself. I don't have anything else, and I don't want to wash my car myself. I think that if I could pay $10 to someone to wash my car a week, I think that's great. Where else can you go? I don't know how it is in other areas, but by my area, a car wash is about $20, just one car wash. So I get $40 every month, and I could wash it as many times as I want. I could go every single day if I wanted to, and I will pay the same amount of money. It's close to my house, it's convenient. There's several locations that I could go, and you just scan my sticker, no problem. So car wash, I do not plan on cutting it. I understand what other people say. Maybe they have the convenience of washing it in their house, and their maybe, I don't know, but I don't. And that is something that is staying as is for now. And I think I have covered it all, you guys. I appreciate your support. Please stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.